If you're into controversial moments, fights, and other things in football, London Derby should be your key word. With the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, and West Ham flexing their muscles in the Premier League, it is easy to see why matches involving these four sides result in moments that can be unsavory but unforgettable at the same time. Times might have changed, but the hatred among the fan base of these teams has not dialed down a bit. So today, we're going to focus on some of the most controversial moments from the games involving these four behemoths. Make sure you check out our bonus section at the end. At number 5, we have the North London Derby between Arsenal and Tottenham, which the Gunners won 2-1 during the 2020-21 campaign. This was an epic encounter between two sides that absolutely love to hate each other. Although both sides no longer have larger-than-life figures around, the hatred has only intensified. The game was a memorable one for all the right and all the wrong reasons. First, there was a stunning Rabona from Eric Lamela, which is arguably the Argentine's greatest ever moment in the Premier League, where he essentially failed to shine as brightly as he should have. But let's move on from the moment once you've seen enough of the goal. Despite that goal, Spurs still lost the game. Lamela was given a yellow card for the second time in the game for throwing an arm into Kieran Tierney, who happened to be fit for the encounter, which is quite a rare occasion these days. But then there was a penalty decision that was as controversial as Raheem Sterling leaving Liverpool for Manchester City. Alexander Lacazette found himself in the box after Nicolas Pepe's pass, but rather than managing to hit the target, he sliced it badly and ended up colliding with Davinson Sanchez, a beast of a man. Michael Oliver pointed to the spot and VAR backed him up. On any other day, the decision would have been overruled. Lacazette converted the penalty and admitted afterwards that it was a lucky decision. Jose Mourinho was not too happy about the decision, but bucking the trend, was very understanding towards the referee and pointed out that just like players and coaches, referees also get tired. No one expected such a graceful remark from the special one, but hey, people change, right? At number 4, we have Arsene Wenger channeling his inner bully to show Mourinho who's boss. During the 2013-14 game between Chelsea and Arsenal, tempers were never expected to fray. Wenger and Mourinho never really liked one another, so there were always room for a controversial moment. It was only 20 minutes in the game when Chelsea defender Gary Cahill tackled Alexis Sanchez in what was a very rash challenge. The referee decided to show the Englishman a yellow card for his troubles, something that Wenger did not agree with. However, rather than walking up to the referee, the French tactician's fatherly instincts took over, and he approached Mourinho, asking him to explain his Cahill's actions. In fact, Wenger shoved the special one. Fourth official John Moss intervened, and then Atkinson issued a warning to both managers. Mourinho was not having any of it either, and gave his opposite number a push before pointing him to go back to his technical area. That was quite an unsavory moment, but at least the two did manage to vent it out, whatever it was. At number 3, we have a fight between Rhys James and Manuel Lanzini during a game between West Ham and Chelsea. What happened was that Edward Mendy and Jorginho combined to commit a horrendous mistake that resulted in a penalty. Rhys James decided to wind up Manuel Lanzini. The Englishman was clearly having a go at the South American before he took the penalty. And while he did try his best to confuse Lanzini, the West Ham man managed to convert the penalty, and the Argentine then went on to shove the English fullback before celebrating the goal with his teammates. Eventually, the Blues lost the game 3-2. At number 2, we don't have a fight or a scuffle or a controversial moment, but the moment is still worthy of the list because it is about something that is rare for Tottenham. Spurs have not won any piece of silverware since the 2008 Carling Cup win over Chelsea. The 2007-08 campaign was a memorable one for them. The team was packed with real talent, and Juande Ramos was still considered a good manager. It was the semi-final of the Carling Cup, where they faced bitter rivals Arsenal. Spurs were simply too good on the day and put 5 goals past Arsene Wenger's side in what was a shambolic display from the Gunners. A 5-1 win set the tone for the final, where they beat Chelsea 2-1. 14 years without a trophy is quite a long time, but the manner in which they dismantled Arsenal remains one of Tottenham's greatest North London Derby moments. At number 1, we have the most controversial moment, which happened during the final of 2007 Carling Cup between Chelsea and Arsenal. With the trophy on the line, no one was willing to compromise on anything. Theo Walcott scored the opener, but Didier Drogba had other plans. The legendary Ivorian scored a brace. Frustrations were boiling over, and things came to a head when John Obi Milky tacked Kolo Toure. The latter did not like the challenge and stood up to the Nigerian. That is when all hell broke loose. Frank Lampard and Cesc Fabregas decided to get involved, and the two were then saying some really mean things to one another. The other players felt left out and joined in. Even Mourinho and Wenger decided to be a part of the testosterone-fueled frenzy. The scuffle was showing no signs of a conclusion, so the referee handed red cards to Mikel, Toure, and Emmanuel Adebayor. In the end, the Blues won the trophy. And finally, on top of the list, as a bonus section, we have the Battle at the Bridge. This game was so controversial that it made no sense for us to actually put a number to it. The epic Battle of the Bridge, which is the name for the 2015-16 Premier League encounter between Chelsea and Tottenham that created a piece of league history that will never be forgotten. This was a campaign where Claudio Ranieri's Leicester City had become the darlings of English football, winning games and defying all sorts of odds. They were just too darn good, and the Foxes made sure that they did enough to win games. The only team that had a chance to ruin the campaign for Ranieri was Tottenham. Mauricio Pochettino's men were playing a very attacking brand of football, and the game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge was going to change everything for them. Guus Hiddink was at the helm following Mourinho's sacking. The game ended in a 2-2 draw, but it was the most controversial encounters in recent Premier League history. This game had chaos written on it. Players from both sides were flying into tackles, and there were 13 yellow cards in total, with Spurs receiving 9 of these. Diego Costa was always an annoying pest, and the Brazilian received an elbow from Jan Vertonghen. Surprisingly, the Belgian wasn't sent off for that. Then we had a fight between Danny Rose and Willian, but that wasn't it. Moussa Dembele appeared to gouge Costa's eye, which resulted in the midfielder getting banned for 6 games, and then Lamela stamped on Fabregas' hand. A dreadful challenge on Hazard resulted in another brawl. The third brawl, however, was quite a sight. This one took place at the dugouts, and poor Hiddink was scythed down the stairs. Imagine if we had VAR technology on that day. Things would have been so different, with a lot of red cards and harsher punishments for everyone. So guys, these are our 5 favorite moments involving Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and West Ham. Do let us know which was your favorite moment, and make sure to subscribe to our channel and check out some of our other videos.